Hello. Yesterday, for some odd reason, I forgot to do my intro, even though I was looking quite dope and even looked doper the day before. So, no excuse, but I had to tweet this so that if you're on my Twitter, you understand that you should please forgive me. At the melody not M.I.A. anyway. Welcome to this week's episode for Maria is different. It's the second episode, and as you can see, it's supposed to be on court. So right here, I am waiting for Damilola Orimogunje to join me on the Zoom live so that we could have the interview. Taking quite a while, but see, it's here already. Damilola Orimogunje is the director as well as co-script writer for the movie For Maria Ebun Pataki on Netflix.
Hello.
After watching the movie, I
Hi,
just had to
Hi, how
speak with
you
him.
doing?
I'm very well. Good morning.
Morning. That's already.
Mhm.
You don't look like as if that yesterday was stressful.
Like what?
As if yesterday was
Hmm. Was it
stressful.
was
It
it
looks
was
like you
more, it
had a
was more
good.
than yesterday. You think so?
I,
We finished shoot around in the morning. I'm fagged out. You can see my eyes like going in. I just had like 2 hours sleep and then I'm
I
here.
actually do
How you
understand.
doing?
I'm very well. How you doing? All
I'm
right.
very well
So
too.
before the owner of the
Thank
studio comes to collect it from me, let me just be done with this. We
you.
usually air on Fridays, so I
Okay.
would. This should air this week or next week Friday. I'm going
Is
for
it TV show? Is it radio or TV?
It's radio, Beat FM, but we add the
Okay.
audio. Of course, we change it to audio, air it, then the visual content goes out also.
Okay, okay, great. Great.
It's your habit station, the Beat 97.9 FM, and you're welcome to What's Trending on the show. It's Melody Ifeanyi at go MIA, but absolutely never missing in action. You know what's trending is about your celebrities, your favorite celebrities, and what they're doing, and especially what is trending. Guess what? Today is different. For the first time ever since I joined the Habit Station, I'm bringing somebody from the movie world because this is trending, and I just had to speak with him. If you've watched For Maria Ebun Pataki, the movie, I think you would know that this guest is someone that should have been here probably since last week, but he's here. So we're saying we are grateful. Welcome, Damilola, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Melody. It's an honor to be here.
Do you know that I was going to call your son name, but I'm like, I don't want to murder it. I do not want to murder it. I can say Ebun
Are you
Pataki, but
serious?
I'm not sure I
You
can
can
say
try
your
it.
surname.
You try it. I mean, it's funny because I've been to some interviews and then they can pronounce my surname, but they can't pronounce it Pataki.
Wow. Ebun Pataki is easy now, but your son, I've seen Ebun, I've seen Pataki before around, but I've never seen
Right?
your surname. It's quite unique. Ori,
Yeah.
no,
Don't
you
don't
do
worry.
it.
No, don't spoil it. It's Orimo Gunje.
Ori Mogunje. What does it mean?
Well, it was kind of like an alliance, to my great grandfather who used to be like a medicine man. Like he would
Okay.
make medicine stuff, and then of course it tells you that your head or your helper, whatever, makes the medicine work, not the actual medicine. And if I say medicine, I mean like what's it called now? Like herbs and stuff
Herbs,
like
yeah.
that. So it's like
Oh,
a long generational thing. It was like a nickname and then it stuck into the family and then made it a surname.
I
Quite
love it.
weird, right?
I love the story behind it. And I love wow, you have a story. And come to think of it, you are a storyteller. Tell us,
Right.
let me start. Damilola Orimbogunje is actually the script writer and the director for Maria Ebun Pataki, currently showing on Netflix. And it has gotten Nigerians by the neck. It is that movie. So I decided to talk to him about his process of writing the movie and, of course, directing the movie. I will just start with, when did you start writing officially? Not script writing, just writing.
Right. I think it goes back to like 2012, 2013. Like 2011. I used to write like different stuff, different medium, but film officially started like 2012, 2013. Yes.
Okay. And you've sold some of these works for feature films, or you just write and keep?
So I mean, basically, I started off as a writer in the industry. I would write. I wrote for TV. I wrote for film. Stuff like that. Just different stuff. And then I also did like TV production. I was a TV producer for like years as well. Before I now delved into making my own films. Of course, I started with making short films. And then some other stuff before For Maria as my official first feature film.
Yeah, what pushed you? I feel it's a push. What pushed you towards starting making your own films?
So from inception, of course, I'm a storyteller, and I had this direction, to write good stuff, to make good content, to basically contribute to society by making topical issues, as film, because I believe we'll have tools to actually, not until everybody goes carrying, megaphone and, preaching, you can preach through a different medium, and then for me, it's the medium of film. And it's been something I've been, wanted to do for a long period of time. So at that time, I realized that, okay, I think I'm ready for this, because you have to pass through like different processes, before you actually get there. So
And exactly that moment was when network felt it was time to go for the first time ever. I started getting frustrated almost immediately, and you can see me saying, "Oh my God, network," and all of that. It didn't take a while. It came back though. I hope you're enjoying the interview so far.
Hello,
are
can
you
you hear
there?
me?
Things was,
Yes, I'm
was
with
breaking.
you.
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, so you were saying I stopped at where you talked about you felt you were ready after passing through a lot of processes.
I think network. Yes. So let me just take it again. Filmmaking for me is passion, and from inception, I just wanted to tell stories, relatable stories. I wanted to contribute my part into the society, by, basically telling stories that actually really matter and stories that people can relate to, So I've always wanted to make films in that direction, even though I started off as writing, stuff like that, and I would sell it to people or I'll, whatever, but I felt at that point I was ready to actually make my own stuff, and then because I have like a vision, the style in which I want to make my own stuff. So yeah, and started off with, practicing like short films, making like really good short films, then eventually getting to Maria.
For Maria Ebun Pataki, you said a tweet
Right.
influenced the writing of this movie. I want you to take us through the emotions you felt at exactly the moment when you read that tweet.
So
What year
reading
was
the
this
script.
though?
If it was 2019,
Okay.
at 2018, 2017, 2018, I wanted to make my first film, my first feature film. And I had a script that was bulky, expensive, and then, of course, it's quite unconventional. In fact, even more unconventional than For Maria. And of course, it's difficult to get investors to jump on that. So I had to, put it down and then it could make a simpler film, a simple story, and that's For Maria. But before then, I didn't know what I was going to make. I just wanted to make something intimate, family-oriented, family drama. Then I started speaking to a friend, the co-writer. We're just talking randomly, and then we spoke about postpartum depression for like an hour. We're just like a random conversation, and how deep and how people don't understand it, and how it's crazy, and then basically mental health in our society. And after that convention died down, the next day I saw a thread, and it was basically about a lady who had gone through postpartum depression and how she felt. And then under the thread, we had like so many middle-aged women, talking about the same thing, talking about their experiences. And it was just mind-blowing. I'm a guy, but I saw this thing and I was reading it. I was like, oh my God, this is actually very serious, and people don't know about this. So I called the co-writer, her name is Tunri Femi. I called her immediately. I'm like, I think I have the film that I've been thinking about, subject matter I've been thinking about. And I think it's postpartum depression. And then, we just went on conversing, talking about it, and then started talking about how to make it into a film. Then that was when my research, process came in, reading a lot of stuff, talking to people, victims. Even though it was difficult how people speak out, but talking to victims, talking to medical practitioners, a lot of research actually went into it. And a female point of view. And that was why I actually needed a co-writer who, will bring the idea or bring the mindset of daring, in some light, And of course, because I'm going to direct it too, I just wanted that different perspective, to add to it. And then it was was a brilliant experience, working with her. She's a professional, and then it was quite emotional at the beginning, very, very, I mean, but eventually, we got used to it, and then till we got on set again and then
I
experienced
had
Meg
a
Otawa's
feeling.
brilliance.
I had a feeling that there was a lot of crying going on set, not just for Daring, but for you guys at the back of the camera. Because one thing about For Maria was, apart from you saying that you wanted it to really, go home, you wanted to strike a chord, it did strike a chord. I'm the kind of person, I'm not 100% movie person. So when I'm watching a movie, I just want it to hit. So you have me skipping, they skip 10 seconds. Like, I just want to skip 10 seconds and, move. But every 10 seconds in For Maria was captivating. Even when Maria's grandmother was bringing her home from the hospital and, through the steps reciting Psalm 23 before she then went to say a lot of prayers, it made me feel like, man, God, for the first time in my life, I want my mother to be there when I'm bringing my baby from the hospital so she can say all these prayers for my child. It's like a prayer that, we believe a lot in prayers, that we just help the child smoothing the way when the child. So it was too realistic, basically. To the extent of that part where the light was taken. Yeah, he was trying to plug his phone. And then I'm like, what sort of movie is this? So tell me, were emotions really running wild on sets? Everybody sad while creating the movie, because it has the solemn mood.
Yeah, I mean, funnily, it's the opposite, because on set I feel like it was like we're making a normal film. People were just like, working, and then it's funny because the only person that was quite moody, and then I give it to her. I mean, I think the role actually deserved that is Meg Otawa. So Meg was, for months or for weeks, we've been discussing the character, the role and everything. So she was immersed in the she was the character. She was not a character, she was that person. She was a victim in that film. So you would not see Meg smile most of the time. She was like in her own space, in the conversation we had. And I just wanted her to be in her own space, let her be left alone. But aside from Meg, almost everyone was chilling. Gabriel is the kind of actor that before a take, is laughing, is cracking jokes on set. And then he's like, Gabriel, we're about to shoot. Let's go. And then he just goes, okay, all right, give me 1 second. 1 second, and then action. And he starts crying. And it's all those emotional scenes. And he goes, and I'm like, how do you do it? It shows how talented he is, really. It's just crazy. But of course, sometimes some scenes you just have this take, and then everybody just goes silent on set, like, oh my God, that is really strong, Really love that too as well,
Yeah.
It was balanced, and it was just a beautiful.
One thing that was majorly playing in my mind while watching the movie was the choice of character of the casting. The casting was really in my head. I was thinking, are these people thespians? Like, did they study theater arts? I was not seeing Gabriel Afolayan. I was not seeing Meg Otawa. I was not seeing anybody. What I was seeing was Derry. I was seeing even Maria acted. I was seeing Maria. I was seeing the characters. I wasn't seeing the actors. I was seeing the characters. Who did the casting? How did you decide that this person was perfect for this role?
So what immediately we're done writing, I've been speaking to Meg for some time before we shot for Maria. So I knew she had it, that we have the vibe, So I just sent the script to her. She read it and she was like, oh my God, this is so strong. She fell in love with it. She picked the role. And then also with Meg, okay, what do you think we should cast for this? We should cast, and then of course Namba was like ultimate choice for mother-in-law. And before we got the role for Gabriel, for supposed to be in Igbo. So we're looking for Igbo actors, and then for some weird reasons, we couldn't get Igbo actors to actually play the role, like of our choice, because of scheduling conflict or one other thing. Then when we decided to change the film back to Yoruba, the first person that came to our mind was Gabriel, because I wanted that originality. I wanted that, I didn't want it to look like staged or look like film. I wanted it to look like this is like reality, real life in front of you. And I just needed actors that could just embody the character and then just be themselves. Because a lot of times I just make them okay, this is the law. You're following you to just, move. I just want you to do whatever you want to do. So it feels original as to,
So it
people, this is your
wasn't
mark,
like
this is where
word
you're
for word
staying and stuff.
scripting. The acting wasn't word for
Of
word. Like I
course.
take it from the script and I just deliver it.
Actually, it was. Sometimes you have like, like a little bit of, ajasa, so to speak, and then it works for me, because I wanted it to be real. For example, the scene with Namba when she was saying Admat, and, and then it was actually our own, and then it worked, because everybody's talking about it like, oh my
It
gosh.
was, I was like, I think I was thinking about this subtitle because I know that For Maria just started showing in Nigeria officially, just became available to Nigerian audience officially. So that's through Netflix. So I kept thinking about when it was streaming in other countries, Brazil, in the UK, France. I kept thinking about it, that when she was saying then, I'm like, okay, these people might not really get the joke because they're not Nigerians. But as a Nigerian, you'll be like, this is crazy. This is crazy. Which brings me to this. Why did you not start? Most times we get most movies, come out in cinemas in Nigeria. Some even like just like King of Boys, drop it on Netflix, and people hustle to that place. But this movie came out 2020, and has been on everywhere apart from Nigeria. It has been everywhere apart from Nigeria, winning awards, getting nominations, without we Nigerians actually seeing this movie, having a lot of reviews on big platforms. Why did you do that? Is there a reason for that?
Well, no sentiment, and then nothing against Nigeria, of course. Firstly, when I was making the film, there was a purpose behind it. It was supposed to be a festival film first, and go to different festivals, which was what we did. So it premiered UK in 2020, and then ever since then, it's been going to like different festivals. So we're supposed to do 1 year festival run before we actually release it officially, commercially. Then after the festival run, which was late last year, late last year. We're going to do cinemas, but the way it is, first, For Maria is not a conventional story. It's a conventional story, but it's not the story that people would say is appealing in the cinemas, I mean, even we got some offers to actually shoot at cinemas, but I felt like, you have to spend money on promotion. It was like a lot.
Like another thing is, imagine going to the cinema on a date and you watch For Maria and your dates are just like this.
Right.
And then the movie. Looking at yourself.
I feel like, guys just cuss me out. Like, why? Why do you have to be something so depressing? So, I mean, I just feel like we're still going to bring it to streaming sites. Netflix is very popular in Nigeria now. People will still get to see it because that's like my major audience, for it, even though it's universal context. Oh, okay. Yeah, so and then, I mean, I'm actually surprised that it's getting so much reviews. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't expecting it to get this amount because I feel like we will relate to the subject, but not to the style of filmmaking, in a way, but the fact that people have been talking about it is just wow, it's crazy.
It's too real. It's too real. Yeah. Let me tell you what happened at the end. When I was watching For Maria, I got to the end when Gabriel Lion was speaking to her and saying, oh, maybe they should go for a vacation and stuff. And then the bathroom part, after that bathroom side, it just blacked out. So I'm like, no, this movie could not have ended like this. I went back again. Then he's talking, and then they showed the bathroom scene and blackout. I was like, I think that was when I hit you up. I was like, no. I don't want to give spoilers what happened though, but I was like,
right.
No, dear, no, that's not how they do things. That's not how you do the things. But why that ending? Without giving spoilers on the ending, but why did you choose that? Why not something like something different? Because there are always different endings to a story. You get to choose the ending as the creator.
Right. So for me, I feel like the present ending is actually more impactful because you watch it and then there's that, oh my God. You've been immersed with this character for a long time. You probably have empathy towards her. And then this happens and you're like, oh my God, why? It questions you. It kind of like propels you to think more about, what we've been talking about the entire film. Like to understand that this is actually deep and it can get to this point. because I feel like if it actually happened like happy ending, you just be like, oh wow, really nice. You kind of like just, you like the story, you understand it, but you get past it. But that ending just gives that feeling inside you that this is actually very serious, which it is. So I feel like that was the reason why I chose. And funnily, even the final draft didn't end that way. Like we're thinking of actually making it. Maybe she didn't. You know what I'm saying? But when I was editing, I was like, I don't want to swear, but anyway, let's do it this way.
I get it. I get it. Some writers leave it to the imagination of the audience. Imagine what happened after that. It's not whatever you imagine. It's on you. Hands off. So
people are really mad at me for that.
Of course, they'll be mad at you. This is a character that a lot of people related with. It's Meg the act. Please, when you see Meg, tell her she the act. I give no. It's a lot, and I appreciate her for that. I appreciate every character. When you see Maria, to tell her say she the act. She cried. She knew that if Derry was carrying her, she had to cry her best. And once Gabriel takes her, she has to, calm down.
Bring it down. She had a script.
She knew
She's
it.
She
A good actor. And for a baby, my God, she deserves it. She deserves all the accolades. Everything, every scene in the movie made me thinking about my life and all of that, including when they were bathing the baby, the traditional, the small bath and everything. I'm like, this is so beautiful. I would like to have I'm telling you, imagine you seeing yourself. The cameras were also very close to the acting in a way, like it romanced the characters. So it made us live the characters, not just watching a film. It made it look like it was something happening in your house. Like you were part of everything that was happening, which is amazing. You said 6 films contributed to the film For Maria Ebun Pataki. Can you tell us how these 6 movies actually contributed to them? Is it in the role of the directing, the production, or the writing? How did they contribute to it?
So basically, it's actually like in the mood of, like you said, writing, directing, acting, and aesthetics basically for it. When we're going to make the film, it was a sad film, of course, but I didn't want it to feel sad entirely, and that's why you have like colorful images, the color palette. It's still beautiful to watch because I wanted that to be something that people can take out. I'm a fan of Asian cinema, so you see Wong Kar-wai. It makes a film called In the Mood for Love. Very beautiful film, by the way. And that was like a major reference for me. There's Mother of George by Andrew Dosunmu. He's a Nigerian filmmaker. It was a 2013 film, but was set in the US. Brilliant, beautiful in terms of color, in terms of edits, in terms of music, and those are like things I drew up for Maria. In terms of acting, one of the major films I gave to Meg to actually watch was The Headless Woman. It's an Argentine film. And this film basically it's similar to a depressed woman, and then really beautiful, less dialogues, basically working with emotions, face, subtle, and it was just like a perfect reference for the character there, and then I had Ida, basically it was just like my favorite film at that point. And there's Amor. Amor was set, the French film that was set interior in the house, entirely. And that was the film I saw that I was like, okay, I can do something like this. If money is the challenge, I can do something quite intimate, strong, and then still very impactful, and they just came at the right time, and then they were just like the film reference for myself, for my crew, and then for the cast.
Let's talk about Oscars. It's one of the things that's quite popular on Twitter in reference to For Maria Ebun Pataki. I don't think there's anybody that has not tweeted about the baby, tweeted about Derry's character, that's the casting, tweeted about how everybody needs and deserves a Grammy on it. How come it wasn't submitted for Grammys? Because I don't think it can be submitted right now again.
Okay, let's take a pause. This was a very weird mess-up moment. Do you know why? Because how the heck
of course.
did I
So
say
the Grammys
Grammys instead of
music,
Oscars?
and then Oscar
You even had to correct me.
I meant Oscar. Not the Grammys, the Oscars.
Well, so the way it works, in Nigeria, so most times you submit a film, and then they pick one film, and then the film represents the country. Actually, I was supposed to, we tried to submit in 2020, but we couldn't submit because, I mean, officially you have to have like a distribution, either you stream, you have you screen in cinemas or probably a streaming line. And at that point we didn't have, so I just opted out. Last year I didn't submit, for some weird reason, I don't know, I just didn't, and I think we had like a different film that actually represented Nigeria at the Oscars, even though it wasn't, I'm not sure it was selected. It wasn't selected, So, I mean, definitely the film deserves awards. If everybody's clamoring for that, we've gotten some really good nominations as well. So I'm hoping for more. I mean, now that this film is actually like commercially out there, whatever festival, I mean, whatever awards that feel like our film is deserving of, definitely. And of course, more films to actually submit to the Oscars. We need
Yes,
to bring
talking
it to
about
Nigeria.
more films, what are you working on currently? Because I know you're working on something.
Yeah, I mean, working on a couple of things, but mainly my next film, is still like on that like no talk zone. Still like we're still, prepping. And it's funny because everybody I meet after For Maria on Netflix, they ask me two questions. Are you pressured? Are you pressured for your next film? What's your next film? And I'm like, oh my gosh, are you guys serious? I mean, I'm not pressured, because I feel like I have like amazing scripts, that probably would mind blowing that For Maria, and then of course I'm taking my time to actually make. So definitely. So I'm working on that. And then when the time is right, everyone will know.
Okay.
So very
All
soon.
right, so no problem. Since you don't want to tell us about it, but we're going to find out about it eventually. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. It was amazing talking to you and knowing all the things in my head after watching For Maria and you answering all these questions that I have. I would recommend For Maria out there to anyone who hasn't watched it. It's on Netflix right now. It's streaming. And we just spoke to Damilola, who is the script writer, one of the script writers, and also the director of the movie. It's a beautiful movie. And yes, you should watch it. Let me know what you think about it when you watch it. So how can we catch you on socials, Damilola?
I'm at Dami Urimogunje on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Dami Urimogunje together.
All right. Thank you so much. I would play a song right now. Don't ask me what song it is, but you would hear it when you listen to it. But just know that it's going to convey the mood of For Maria. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. I would send you the graphics when it comes out and when it airs. Tell you the date would air.
No problem. It's fine.
All right. I used to go back to sleep.
I should. I have another interview by 4, I guess.
Hot cake.
4:30. Hot FM.
Hot cake.
No, I just need to sleep, deliver 1 hour drive to someone, and then go for that.
Nah, please get rest while you can. I heard there's like another thing that when people don't rest, when you're stressed out, you get it. Saw it on YouTube, on TikTok. I'm like, oh my God, what's this? I will never stress myself again.
Every time.
She was like working overtime. She didn't get rest, and she was a nursing mother. She was also nursing puppies, and then she had this funny thing. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh, wow.
But she's having seizures. She can't move. She's like twitching and all of that. It's crazy. So rest, our favorite director. Please rest and sleep tighter because we're expecting more movies from you.
Voila. Wahala. Thank you very much for having me, Melody.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
And that was how it ended. Thank you so much for being a part of this interview. I appreciate you. Don't forget that you can like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You could also watch the previous interview that we had with Fave. Don't skip it. I'm going to link it. I don't know how to do it, but I'll try. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Ciao.